Hello, my name is Muhammad-Naeem. Today I will be demonstrating Scrum. So, what is Scrum? Scrum is a part of Agile Software Development. It is named for a rugby formation in which everyone plays a role. It emphasizes iterative and incremental delivery, collaboration, and adaptability. The Scrum delivery life cycle consists of several key phases. So, let's discuss about key phases of the Scrum in next slide. This is a diagram of the Scrum framework. Uh, Scrum framework guides the creation of a product. The goal of Scrum is to help teams work together to define your customers. In this diagram, you can see three different roles: product owner, Scrum master, and the developers. Product owner owns the product backlog. There is one ongoing activity that is refinement. In refinement meeting, uh, product backlog item is discussed for clarification and adding details, taking estimates and order it. When refinement of product backlog is done, there is a sprint planning meeting which establish the sprint goal and what can be done, how to choose work will be done. In sprint planning meeting, the items from the product backlog items are opted by the team by for delivering the product increment and realizing the sprint goal. Is this sprint can be of 1 month, but ideally for 2 weeks. The Scrum Master conduct the daily Scrum. The purpose of daily Scrum is to discuss the progress and to identify any issues faced by the team member. At the end of the sprint, one sprint review meeting is conducted. Usually demos are conducted to review the outcome of the sprint. There is one more activity performed, that is sprint retrospective, in which a Scrum team inspects how the last sprint went. The team identifies the improvement to make the sprint more effective next time. There is one more interesting section appearing here, that is who should participate and how long. A sprint planning meeting is conducted by the entire Scrum team, and it should not be more than 8 hours. It should be time box. Daily Scrum is conducted by the Scrum Master, and it should be time box for 15 minutes. A sprint review meeting is in a sprint review meeting, the entire Scrum team, stakeholders, and sometimes clients are also invited to provide the feedback. And it should be time box for 4 hours, not more than that. In a sprint retrospective, the entire Scrum team is involved, and it should also be time box for 3 hours. So let's discuss about the technical terms which we have listened in this during the Scrum framework diagram. Product backlog creation. The Scrum process begins with the creation of the product backlog. The product owner, in collaboration with the development team and stakeholders, identifies and prioritizes the requirements or user stories that will be developed during the project. So let's see the examples that how these product backlog items are created. To create a product backlog item containing a list of prioritized user stories or features. There are three examples of user stories. User story 1, as a user I want to create a new task. In user story 2, as a user I want to assign a task to a team member. In user story 3, as a user I want to track the progress of a task. So let's talk about a sprint planning meeting. At the start of each sprint, the product owner and development team collaborates to select a set of backlog items to be delivered in the upcoming sprint. The team estimates the effort required for each item and creates a sprint backlog. Sprint execution. During the sprint, the development team works on selected backlog items. The team is self-organized and collaborate to develop and test the functionality. The work is divided into smaller tasks and progress is tracked using a task board or similar visual management tool. So here is an example of the Scrum board in which there is a column of user stories and the column of to do, in progress and done. So transition is from user story to do and then in progress and then done. Daily Scrum. The development team holds daily stand-up meetings known as the daily scrum or daily stand-up. To synchronize their activities, each team member shares their progress, plans, and any obstacles they are facing. The obstacles are usually known as impediments. This helps to identify and address issues promptly. Sprint review meeting. At the end of each sprint, a sprint review meeting is held to demonstrate the completed work to stakeholders. The development team showcases the working product increment and stakeholders provide feedback. This feedback is then used to refine and prioritize the product backlog. Sprint retrospective. Following the sprint review, a sprint retrospective takes place. The development team reflects on their performance during the sprint and identifies areas for improvement. So usually there is a discussion between the team members that what went well, what didn't, and the actionable steps to enhance their productivity and effectiveness. Increment release. At the end of each sprint, a potentially shippable product increment is created. The product owner determines whether the increment is ready for release to end users or stakeholders. If it is approved, then it is released, allowing stakeholders to start using and providing feedback on the new functionality. Uh, Once this cycle is completed, then in next sprint planning meeting begins and the cycle continues with the selection of new backlog items for development. The process iterates through multiple sprints until the desired product is completed or the project goals are achieved. So this is all about the Scrum process. Thank you for watching this demonstration.